But it's going to be a jam-packed next 2 days. Probably the most fun we have is when we go to the seniors' home and hang out with all the seniors, all decked out in jerseys. We did it last year for the first time, and it is the greatest edition.
Lanny's already lobbying to get in. Can you believe that?
And I think, Lanny, if you had $50 in your hand, you might have got talking to that girl a little more.
Was it Lanny because he was still probably playing it?
Lanny, he was old right off the bat, so I couldn't pick him up. But really growing up, probably a lot like you guys, growing up in a small community in Saskatchewan like I did, the players you looked up to weren't necessarily the NHL. Like an NHL game came on at 7 o'clock on a Saturday back home, or 7 o'clock on a Saturday, you were at the radio with your buddies Pats or Saskatoon Blades play, and that would be the next level that you might get to. You might know one of the older guys from the area that made it.
You know, but now I got to actually meet Cammy Granado. It was our last year that both of us ended up playing, and we didn't know really it was going to be our last year. We were both injured, and we were playing against each other in our club system, and I got a chance to meet her. She was obviously
losing 2-0. You look at the guy and go, well, he goes, okay, sure. And it starts off very friendly, the fight. And then often you're, back in our day when it was not charter flights at the start of my career, you probably went into the same establishment after and had a beer after. We didn't have any of that hate.
But what's it like to pal around with guys you went at it with so hard back in the day?
You know, it's funny. When I retired and I came back to live in Toronto, I got a call from the Alumni Association said, why don't you come on out and do some alumni games? So you get to the first alumni game, you're sitting in the dressing room with Matthew Barnaby and guys of that nature, and you're looking across and you're thinking to yourself, are we actually going to talk about this? And then the conversation just starts flowing and you end up having a few beers at the end.
Today it's an honor, and seeing some of my idols, like, watching Lanny McDonald and Wendell Clark and guys like that, and especially Wendell, like how he played the game.
And we were playing against Wendell, and Ron Tugnutt had picked the puck up behind the net, and Jason York was going back to get it, and Wendell came down, and he just went through both of them. He pretty well put both of them through the end boards. And I remember, I think the other four guys on the ice I didn't see that. Nobody saw that because nobody wanted to fight him. But yeah, that was my first experience of the Battle of Ontario, and it didn't disappoint for many years after that.
Chris Neil, you just recently retired, and I know that can't be an easy decision to come to.
I had some opportunities to play this year, and it just wasn't the right fit. Playing my whole career in Ottawa, and it just felt like home. It would have been tough to move my family. I got 3 young kids, and to go play in St. Louis or Phoenix. The weather would have been nice in Phoenix, but looking at the roster, I'm like...
Classy is what you always hear when you talk about Jean Beliveau. Now, I think I'd like to say tonight that I've met so many hockey players, so many coaches, so many GMs. I think the world of hockey is probably the very best of competitive sports. It's a great deal. How about a nice hand for Constable Dana Hayward? Constable Cody.
I don't mind getting arrested by them.
The Royal Newfoundland Constabulary, the finest. Don't they look great? So, Don, first of all, just a word about Bob Cole, because you played against Jean Beliveau. Imagine. So, Don, all those nice words Bob just said about making it to the NHL, you actually did it. Not to blow your horn, you'll do that, I'm sure, yourself. But
what a hockey player, right?
Doug Grant here, when they laid Jean to rest, Doug, greatest goaltender, right? So amazing, and just such a beautiful guy. Played with one of my boyhood heroes, Ed Stanowski. Jean went to Jacques Plant's funeral over in Switzerland. He was really great to Jacques.
Yeah, and I remember Bob did many of them, and Doug Grant, right? Yep. He played against the Colorado Rockies, where I had Hardy Astrom, the Swedish Civ. The only problem he had as a goaltender was pucks. Anyhow, go ahead.
Well, Doug Grant, Joel Undergin. Obviously, those are the two men right here that we watched Sid the Kid win his cup again last spring in Nashville. And you remember Trina and Troy, his mom and dad were at every single practice, every moment. They were around, I was telling the folks here that we almost lost Marble Mountain in the slides this past week, and I said everybody in Corner Brook almost became you, Don Cherry. We almost lost our marble. Anyway, Byron Rideout, great Corner Brook Royal, good guy. Maybe a third liner on that fantastic team, 85-86, but Byron, he comes up to me and he says, "Hey, Ron McLean, buddy, nice to meet you." He says, "But Don's the man."
He's right. He's a good guy, smart guy. You know what I mean?
So Byron, God love him, he's great. He is great. He's prepared some questions for you. We're going to do our production opening on Saturday on Scotiabank Hockey Day in Canada. It comes on the air at 2:30. I hope you get to see this. I don't know if we'll trump Heave Away. It was performed last night at Marble Mountain. It's going to be tough to top that. But we've got the cast from Come From Away, the great Tony Award-winning Broadway productions coming back to Toronto, Mervish Productions. And it's all about the 38 wide-body aircrafts landing in Gander on 9/11, right? Captain with American Airlines. So we talked to him about the woman who flew into Gander was Captain Beverly Bass. She was the first female pilot in the history of American Airlines. She had to keep everybody in the plane for 27 hours. Her story is unbelievable. That whole thing is part of the show on the weekend to have Al Secord on. And I asked him at the end, he said, "You know what? I'm the co-pilot to our captain, Don, on the coach's corner." I said, "What about grapes, Al?" And he said, "Well, I always wanted to," I'm going to make you blush here, but he said, "I always wanted to tell Don, I see him speak at various events, Steve Lutzic's and such, but I never really get to spend any time with him. But he was the best coach I ever had." And he went on to talk about you.
I remember Al broke in, and this is a true story. He never wore a helmet. He's the last guy in the National Hockey League scored 50 goals and never wore a helmet. So I remember he came, he was a rookie, and he was wearing a helmet. Boy, he must have been nuts back in those days. So we're coming into Toronto, and as folks come down Espanola, right? Yeah, something like that.
Yep,
come down, and I said, "Look, I'll start you on the power play. Let you stand for the national anthem. All the rookies like to do that. If you don't wear a helmet." So, he says, "Okay, Don." So now it's the first period, and a lot of guys will remember Dave Hutchison. He was about 6'3", big, tough guy for the Leafs. And he gets into a fight, and he's only 19. He's got no helmet on. And I thought, what have I done? Like his mother and father, and Hutchison was really tough. And you couldn't send guys on the ice, but I was going to send guys on the ice. No way. So I said, get ready, guys. I said, because he can't fight Hutchison. All of a sudden, Al, left hook, caught him, got him. I never forgot Al. And Al went to Chicago, and like I said, he scored 50 goals. And what a guy he is, and he's going to be on your show.
Yeah, by satellite from Dallas, but he's great. You know how you...
It's only been a start to this great celebration, but two things are evident to me. How close-knit the hockey community is. Everyone seems to know everyone, has something good, and well, maybe something bad to say about everyone too, but they know everything about everyone. And the second thing is, it's evident how important the hockey community is to all our communities here in Canada and to Corner. And I can't think of two more important ambassadors to the game, to our communities, as these two. So on behalf of the citizens and the city of Corner Brook, I'd like to present some jerseys to these guys. So please give them a warm welcome to Don and Ron and all our visitors here this week. And let's kick off a great weekend.
Thank you, Your Worship. And Will, isn't that nice? Thank you, Jim. I'm going to wear Craig's 71 of his sweaters with pride on the weekend. Thank you again to
Brian Trottier and the Stanley Cup.
Last game in the playoffs, too. All it takes to win the hockey players stay strong down the range. And the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the chance to win the drink.
Hockey fans, the culture of hockey, the growth of hockey, the community spirit, I think it's just spectacular. We can't be more excited and more proud to have Corner Brook representing hockey for this weekend. Great job. Now, full disclosure, you're huffing a little bit. That was a long walk with Well, the really cool thing is before you win the cup, you never want to go up and take your picture with it or grab it or touch it because you haven't won it. Kind of a superstition or whatever, but you look at it from a distance, you say, boy, I'd really like one day to be able to grab that cup. So when they bring it on the ice, you have that moment of awe because it's so shiny, it's so bright, the guy's got his white gloves on, they put it on the table. You just want to go over and you want to hug it. You want to put your arm around it. When you put your arm around it, how cool it is to touch. You know, it's just got this nice, cool metal feeling, and when you kind of feel the names that are engraved on it, you want to see some of the names that are engraved on it. You read it like Gordie Howe, Jean Beliveau, Stan Mikita, and you go, wow, they're going to put my name on this thing. It's going to be on there forever. And when you pick it up, it's actually heavier there. You think it's not a piece of tin, and when you pump it up over your head, you feel like a weightlifter. And you're like, yeah, baby, and people are screaming at you, we love you, Brian. I said, I love you too. Girls are screaming, I want to marry you, I'm already married, but thank you.
And singing along. Great stuff. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Brian Trotch, everyone. So
That just about does it.
That's about
I
it.
think we are done.
Do you want to run down the sked again for Saturday, starting with the dreaded time?